Today I'm going to go over how to install Mint Linux version 12 codename Lisa in a virtual environment. I'm going to be using Oracle VirtualBox. So this is a great way for people who want to try out Mint Linux at home but they're worried about fully converting over their laptop. This is a great way to try it. So go ahead and follow these easy steps and hopefully you decide to use Mint Linux at home as well because it's super easy to use, great user interface, wonderful operating system, great alternative, open source alternative to Windows 7. So just keep watching. The first thing we're going to do is start up our Oracle VirtualBox application. If you do not already have this installed, go ahead and go to the URL on the screen and download the software. This is a free hypervisor that will run over your Windows 7 operating system or Mac OS X. Let's go ahead and create a new virtual machine. We can go ahead and click on Next on the welcome screen. It's going to ask us for our operating system type. We're going to choose Linux. Mint is not directly listed, but we could go ahead and choose Linux 2.6, which is the kernel type. We're going to type in the virtual machine name and then click Next. Now let's select the amount of memory we want to allocate to this virtual machine. I'm going to select 1 gig. Now we're going to create a new virtual disk. This is going to be the virtual file that's going to be stored on our Windows 7 install. I'm going to choose 8 gigs as my virtual disk size. Once I'm happy with that, I click Next. Now it's going to ask me for the virtual file type. We're going to choose the default, but if you want to move this virtual machine to another hypervisor, there are options for that. Now, dynamic versus fixed is how it's going to allocate the disk space. It's as needed. It will be dynamic. Now we're going to choose the location and then finally the summary of our virtual disk. Once we click that, we're going to click Create, and it's going to create our virtual machine for us. We could go over the details here and the summary and click Create. In a few minutes, our virtual machine will be done and it's ready to start up. Go ahead and select our virtual machine and then click Start. First time you start up your virtual machine, you will be prompted for an installation media. You could either choose your local D drive of the local host or select an ISO on the local machine. I'm going to go ahead and select my Mint 12.0 ISO that I downloaded previously, and I'm going to go ahead and click Open. You will be prompted with your ISO selection and then go ahead and click Start. You'll see the machine booting up as a normal physical machine would. Go ahead and click in the window and use the up and down arrows to select Start Mint Linux. The machine will boot up into what is known as a live installation, which means this is a working desktop. The only difference is if you try to save anything, it will not be there when you shut it off. It will automatically be deleted. Now, you're able to use this interface, but I would recommend going ahead and doing the installation. So you go ahead and click where it says Install Linux Mint, and now it would open up your installation wizard. The first thing you'll be presented with is the welcome screen. Go ahead and select your language and click Continue. Now it'll show you that you meet the minimum requirements. You have to have a certain amount of disk space, power, and internet. Now you'll be presented with your disk options. You can go ahead and select the first option, Erase Disk, and install Mint Linux, and it will go ahead and partition out your file system for you in your virtual environment. If you know how to partition your own drive, you can go ahead and select the more advanced option below. But for everyone who's a beginner, I will go ahead and select the default and hit Continue. It will go ahead and present you with the disk drive. If you had more than one disk storage, you could use the pull down menu to select the correct disk here. In this instance, we only have our one virtual hard drive. Once you click Install Now, it's going to go ahead and start the installation. You can see it copying files below. While it's doing this, you will be asked a few questions. What region you're from, your keyboard layout. There's multiple options here. If you're from another country, they don't ask you who you are. Go ahead and provide it your name, and then it'll fill in the computer name. And go ahead and select a username and your password. Be sure to select a very secure password with uppercase letters, numbers, and a special character. Now you also have the option here to auto log in automatically or have it log in with a password. Of course, I would recommend requiring the password to log in. For additional security, you can go ahead and encrypt your home directories to encrypt sensitive data. The installation should just take a few minutes. Once it's completed, you will be prompted to restart now. Go ahead and restart your computer, and once it comes back up, you are ready to use your new Mint virtual machine. Once the virtual machine is restarting, it's going to ask to remove media. Just go ahead and select that as seen on the screen. Reboot, you will be able to go ahead and log in with the account you created during the installation. If you're brand new to Mint Linux, I would go ahead and take a look at this initial welcome screen. It has tons of useful information on here and tutorials. Now you're ready to explore your Mint Linux installation. If you click on applications, you notice there's tons of applications already installed for you, including a version of Office known as LibreOffice that is completely compatible with Microsoft Office. There's also a wonderful software management utility with thousands of applications free to use. Just so you know, your desktop user interface is known as GNOME 3. It's been around for years and it's really well liked. So I hope you enjoy your brand new Mint Linux install.
Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this was helpful. I hope you decide to use Mint Linux at home today. It's a great operating system, so give it a chance, and I'll see you guys next time.